YouTube. So I'm out here tuning some antennas I just made from nothing. Made them from nothing. Scraps in a machine shop. I did order some 6160 solid round stock for the shafts. But take a look at that. What you think about that? Man, oh man. So these antennas are 5 foot tall with the studs, whatever, the mounts. You know, they're below 5 foot tall, just on their own. So they're way shorter than normal running monkey maids or predators, whatever. And I made these because I set out to build an antenna that could outperform his normal stinger and then also be shorter, and I succeeded. And I'm going to show you guys that they are in tune. I know you're asking, how did I tune them? Well, give you a close-up. That's actual Delrin that I used. Bored that out. And all this myself. But yeah, I mean, I was just desperate, man. I gotta do something. I'm like, I want better antennas, but normally if you go shorter, on your vehicle, it's a compromise. So everybody just drives around with those full-size antennas because they want the performance. And these actually outperform a stinger. So you're getting better performance, and they're shorter. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, I literally, out of frustration, I was desperate to try anything. I mean, when I made these, I didn't know if they were going to tune. I did all that work. I didn't know if they were going to work. But this is kind of from an old design. There was designs like this years ago. You guys could comment. I actually read. It was a thread somewhere. A guy talking about Chinese bow tie antennas, and I guess this would fall into that category. But there's capacitance antennas. There's capacitances for sale. I've seen them. For ham radios and different antennas. So I just did some research, and I was like, you know what? This system appears to work better, and I was just so intrigued by them being shorter. That's what I was mostly intrigued by. Something shorter that is better, really. Now, I mean, you don't see this stuff for sale because, I mean, how are people going to tune it? I think obviously you can tune these by changing your wraps and whatnot, but I did some calculations, some mathematical calculations. I was like, man, do I know what I'm doing? Because I really didn't think so, but I used some common sense, and I wrapped those, and it kind of looks like possibly I could have gone bigger on the, we'll call them ears, the horizontal loops, and smaller on the coil. But I don't know, they're working, and they're working real good, and they're so short. I should have brought a full-size monkey made, because I had an MM9, on a 6-inch riser. I mean, you could see it's like way up here, and you're hitting stuff. You can't go down side streets. So I'm just so excited about this, man. I'm just blown away. I mean, they're so pretty. They're heavy. I mean, maybe I should have machined them down, used a little bit more lightweight material. But it's kind of nice though. They go down the road like this. They don't do any of this stuff. That's one thing I like about the monkey maids. They're so thick. They just kind of go like this. But you don't get SWRs out of those like you get out of these. And I'm going to show you guys. You're probably saying you can't tune. So just to spare some people, some comments. I'm gonna go ahead and show them this. I brought all this out here just to show you. Alrighty. Let's get this away from that positive. I don't put boots on my batteries because this way I can always make sure they're tight and whatnot. So at the bottom of the band, look where that needle is, way down there. 1.1. Now you look at the impedance, it's over 50 ohms. Now remember, I don't talk down here. That's what you gotta factor in. But I can. I was gonna say, we're gonna have a different reading now. Remember, guys, these readings can vary from day to day. So I'm talking here. This is, what's this, channel 20, 205. And this is where I'm talking. 27.265, 27.285. Come on. Okay, so you see that the needle moved up just a hair, but you know the impedance is right at 50. I'm going to look at 1.1. So I mean, this is pretty awesome. I talk. Everyone also talk up here, channel 30. Yeah, so this is where I'm mostly talking, and then you know, but I pretty much tune these for 27.285, and you know, depending on how you look at this needle, see right at 50, depending on the day. And you see that's back, the needle's dropped down a little bit to this analog needle. So there you go, they're tuned. And it's a two antenna system. I can remove one, but it's not set up like that. It's tuned, they're tuned. They're tuned to talk on the two of them, so you put them both up there and you start doing some talking. But guys, I'm just like really stoked on this. You know, I mean, was this easy to do? Absolutely not. It took an unbelievable amount of time. I had to make everything, and everything is. I mean, I've got that the shaft is machined into that Delrin, goes 3 inches up the Delrin. There's 3 set screws 120 degrees apart from each other, holding that Delrin in. But you could take the 3 set screws out, and it's like pressed into the Delrin. And these both are the exact same height. Here, I may as well give you a look. I mean, I'm kind of proud of them actually. You see that Delrin? I machined the Delrin so it would support the rings up there. I mean, everything is very, very solid. I have it set up to where I could take the coil off, because I thought I might have to experiment with that, but I got my calculations correct. Like I said, because this is how I measured the rings, I measured the coil, and this is what I got them to tune with. I did not have to. These were originally, they were loops, and I had to bring them in. I mean, I tried to make them aesthetically look as good as they could. You know, they're a little wavy from me bending them when I was tuning them, but really they're probably a little more aerodynamic like this, since those are flat coils. I think aesthetically they looked cooler when they were round, but for driving this is probably better. And see, if I were to build these again, maybe I could go smaller on the coil and bigger in the loops. But you know, this is probably less wind resistance though, and you know, the performance would probably be the same. I mean, I imagine the bigger the horizontal loops, the better it would be, but that's just me speculating. I mean, really, it's just, you can go and read on these, you know, capacitance antennas, top-loaded capacitance antennas, or just read about, and it's very interesting. But I'm just blown away by it. And fortunately, with all this stuff that I'm good at working on stuff and building things, and this is somewhat artistic, I suppose. I mean, I only use copper for not for really any reason at all. Could have used aluminum. I figured it would bend a little bit better the way I have that. Yeah, so that's that, guys. I thought I'd give you a look at that. I'll see you guys later.